The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There was a young woman, she was 31 years old, she passed away on Shabbos afternoon 2 weeks ago in the Five Towns. Her sister happened to have been in my seminary. Very sad, very, very sad. The boy, her husband passed away 2 years ago, she passed away now, a 7-year-old boy, no parents. Mamish like the times of the Beis HaMikdash, the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. We're in Mashiach's time. Mamish in the times of Mashiach. He has no parents, so his grandparents have him. So I went to be Menachem with this girl on Friday morning, but I went to daven. She wasn't up yet. I went to daven. They davened at 7 o'clock. It was very early, and the boy wasn't up yet. So I sat down by the grandfather, by the father of the girl that passed away. And I'm sitting there, and I want to give him chizuk. So I told him my whole Dvar Torah on Purim that Esther had no parents, and the reason her father died when her mother was 3 months pregnant. I've given this shir many times, and her mother died at childbirth, and she was born without any parents at all. And the reason for that was because she had to be perfect in Kibbutz Avim, and she was the only one that could destroy Haman. In the end, we see that both her parents passing away gave her the ability to be Esther Hamalka at the end of the day. So I said, when your grandson grows up, don't tell him now. When your grandson grows up, make sure you tell him this medrash, that there was another person who had no parents as a young kid, and she ended up being Esther Hamalka, so he could be David HaMelech. You know what I'm saying? But don't tell him now. He's 7 years old. He doesn't want to hear that. Okay? I'm trying to give them chizuk. It's very, very broken. They have another daughter that needs a refuah shalema. So it's like a really, really sad thing. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to give this man chizuk. And he turns to me and he says, Wallerstein, you speak a lot. I want to tell you something. He says, a few days ago, my daughter's friend, very close friend, came to be Menachem Avel. Now this girl who passed away, woman, 31-year-old, she worked in a clothing store in the Five Towns, I think for the last 10 years. She worked in a clothing store, that was her job, that's what she did. So she tells the father, I'm telling you this, but your daughter swore me to secrecy that I would never tell this to anybody, but now that she passed away, I don't think the shvur is there anymore. So I want to tell you her secret. Your daughter had a secret. I want to tell you, see, this guy's thinking, who knows what this girl's going to tell her. She said, she was very skinny, this 31-year-old. So she worked in the store, and she told her friend, she said, I want to tell you what I'm doing, but you can't tell anybody. Sure, what are you doing? She goes, every time a girl walks in to the store that's a little overweight, I don't bring her her size. I bring her a size bigger than she needs. So when I bring the size bigger and she puts it on, I'm like, that's too big. And she turns to her mother and says, you see, you said everything's tight on me. Not everything's tight on me. Look, I lost weight. Every single girl that walked in that looked like she was a little bit upset about her weight, this girl would bring her a size bigger than she needed, so that she would feel good and say, you see, not everything's tight on me. This dress is even too big. I thought I lost a little bit weight. For 10 years, this was her secret. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? What? Such chesed? Such a simple little idea? Vayar. Vayar is the secret of everything. Vayar was the secret of Avraham. Vayar was the secret of Yosef. He saw two people who woke up in the morning, weren't happy, and he asked them, what's wrong? You could work in a store, and this girl had a very hard life. So you'd think she has a good life, she's worried about everybody else. She had to worry a lot about herself. And she came up with this little idea. Who knows how many hundreds of girls walked out of that store happy. Not only that, you know what, I lost a little bit of weight, maybe I could lose a little bit more. Maybe that size got too big, maybe the next size will get too big. I don't have to tell you girls how your mind works, right? And mothers were walking out of there like, you know what, she tried on something that was too big, and it didn't look good. And she brought her the next size lower, and she fit into it. Such godless. From where does that come? From being a Rosh Hashiva, from being a Rebbitzin, from being Mama Rachel, from what? She worked in the Five Towns, in a dress store. From what? From Vayar. From looking at the other person and seeing their struggle. That's godless. The schus of this girl and what she did for every single person that she did it for, Bezrat Hashem, and her schus, we should be able to see her back, B'tchias HaMesim B'Karov, and everybody should have a lichtig of Chanukah. Thank you for coming.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org